Number 11. tonight is Jose Guzman.
Welcome to Merrill Douglas Stadium. Ted Mendenhall and Dan McClellan with you as the Olympians get set to host the Fullerton Hornets. Before we go any further, let's get you the 2019 Mesa Olympians.
Mesa College. This is your second church time out of the hat.
Reminder again to all Olympians.
Asante Hartzog, quarterback, Lincoln High School.
Hunter Allen, cornerback, Cathedral Catholic High School.
As the visiting team,
Dominic McManus, wide receiver, Ramona High School.
Dario Weathers, safety, Duquesne High School.
Thomas Fishburne, wide receiver, Steele Canyon High School.
Sammy Muniz, safety, South Point Catholic High School.
Julian Sando, defensive end, Grossmont High School.
Taj Broomfield, wide receiver, West Hills High School.
Jack Blanco, free safety, Poway High School. Antoine Ware, receiver, Wagner High School.
Bryson Collins, cornerback, Madison High School.
Kuino Makiele, safety, Mission Hills High School.
Isaiah Tate, running back, Malcolm High School.
Noah Rajo, tight end, the Poway High. Jacob Wiggins, defensive tackle, Rancho Bernardo High School. Solo Logo, left guard, Oceanside High School.
Devon Traylor, left tackle, Fountain for Carson High School. Alex Nagy, right tackle, the Helix Shutter High School.
Darius Gurdon, O-line, Crawford Colts.
Nick Gallo, right guard, John H. Guy High School.
Wesley Thompson, O-line, Poway High.
McCuddy Robertson, defensive tackle, Hendrickson High School.
Our officials for tonight.
All right, nice job by our production crew with those announcements of the 2019 Mesa Olympians. And Dan, the Olympians have won the toss and have elected to receive to start this first half. Coming off just a fantastic game a week ago with that 1-point victory. Asante Hartzog leading them 95 yards in 4 plays.
It was impressive. They showed a big team effort there. I think, the coach was really proud of the team afterwards for just really never giving up. And I talked to Coach Watkins and said, after the booth, we were really stressing how poor the clock management was there for them to even get an opportunity to win the game. But the clock management was poor, and they took advantage of it.
Well, for both of these squads, 1-1 in the Central League, that means that everything is still in front of them. That's because the only undefeated team in league right now is Mount Sac, and they both have yet to play them. So win the rest of your games, and you're going to win the Central League. But it starts right here tonight against a very talented Fullerton Hornets squad.
Well, in Fullerton, you have a team that combined 350 rushing yards last week. 2 running backs, and Alfonso Graham and Brandon Watkins both went over 100 yards. And one of their quarterbacks, Cooper Callis, also added 81 yards on the ground, which makes me think they can extend drives on the ground. I'm a little bit concerned about that because last week we saw that Mesa's defense get a little tired towards the end of the game, so they need to be able to get off the field.
Well, Mesa is going to start with the ball out at the 25-yard line. Fonseca kicking it off out of bounds. That's a penalty against them. So actually, no, they're not going to get a touchback. They're going to get even better field position than that. Of course, they could also elect to make them re-kick it if they choose to.
Kickoff going out now will be brought out to the 35-yard line.
So they'll get it at the 35, 1st and 10, going right to left. Mesa in the blue jerseys with white numbers as they honored the outgoing sophomores. This, of course, their final home game of the season, their last 2 regular season games on the road, and then we'll see what the postseason has to bring. Still a little ways to go before we talk about that. Sante Hartzog starts them off with a trips left formation as they go left to right, 4-man rush, throws to the left side, and it is caught just shy of the 40-yard line.
Very hard to defend that pass. He just basically stepped out, turned around, and timing was perfect.
That was Thomas Fishburne with the reception. 2nd down and 6 after a 4-yard gain. And there's that swing out to the right side. We saw that a couple times last week, and the catch made by Antoine Ware to the 40-yard line, just a 1-yard pickup, bringing up 3rd and 5.
David Farmer in on the tackle.
That looked very similar to the play, one of the big plays in the game last year, the screen that bounced off about 40 yards, but they just didn't have the screen set up there, the blocking in place, so the short gain.
Yeah, that was a huge momentum boost in the first half of that game last week. Rance Garner rumbling 63 yards for the touchdown when they had the defense thinking that Andrew Wimmer was going to get the football. There goes a man in motion. Now they've got him spread out 4 wide. They bring a blitz, and was the catch made? It was. What a catch by Fishburne right at the 1st down mark and a yard beyond at the 46-yard line.
Gain of 6, 1st and 10, Olympian.
Fishburne, a freshman from Steel Canyon High School. That is his 14th reception of the year. Hartzog now with 2 receivers right side, 1 wide out to the left. That's Taj Broomfield. They have yet to run the football, and they'll take care of that right here. Wimmer off the left tackle and into Fullerton territory at the 48-yard line.
That was a good play call there to kind of mix things up there. And controlling the ball, I think, is going to be a big difference of who wins and loses this game.
That was about a 7-yard pickup, bringing up 2nd down and 3. Hartzog quickly has them on the ball. And a quick handoff. This time Wimmer off the right side, 45. Got another 1st down at the Fullerton 41-yard line. And a good rhythm established early by the Olympians on offense.
Yeah, it's not quite a hurry up, but it's very close to it. It's
in on the stop, 1st and 10.
setting a nice pace at the beginning of this game.
Now they'll go empty backfield. 5 wide receivers. 4 down linemen for the Hornets. Hartzog has the snap. They bring an extra man. Quick throw out to the left side, and it's caught. That was Antoine Ware, and what you like about that is the quick decision-making by Hartzog. They eventually sent 6 men after him. The offensive line did their jobs, and he did his.
Gain 2 on the play, 2nd and 8.
Not a huge gain, just a couple yards on that catch by Ware, but the important part is Hartzog getting that ball out of his hands quickly. 2nd down and 8. Trips left side. From the 39 of Fullerton, a high handoff to Wimmer. That could be dangerous. Got about a yard there to the 38-yard line.
Right at the line. It's a very big play to start the game here, about 3rd and 7. And I kind of think they're in no man's land. They might even consider going for it if they don't convert this into a 1st down.
Yeah, and if what you say is in fact true, then certainly they don't necessarily have to get to the down mark here. Maybe get half of that back and make it 4th and short. Trips left side again, now a man in motion. Again, they come with the late rush, and Hartzog's going to be brought down. That's Joe Christensen, the linebacker, coming on a late blitz, and he'll get the sack, and now for sure they're going to punt the ball away.
Yeah, Hartzog was never really able to look back upfield when she scrambled out to see if he had a receiver. And unlike a few plays earlier in the drive when he was able to quickly unload, he didn't identify the blitz quick enough there.
Raul Reyes is set to punt the ball away. Back to receive for Fullerton is Hunter Risen. And that's the squib that they'll let roll, and it goes all the way just shy of the 10-yard line, and that's where the Hornets will take over, and we'll have to wait and see who the quarterback is because they rotate 3 of them in throughout the game.
I kind of really like that squib kick, especially in that situation. It's not what you expect to see out of a punt, but it's very effective. The slower roll allows your players to go down there and down it, and I really think there is a fairly good likelihood they could hit an opposing player and have a live ball for a turnover.
The quarterback will be Quinn Commons. He's a sophomore, 6'4", 225. Now whistles and a flag going against Mesa. I believe they broke the huddle with too many men.
Yeah, Chandre Shantez was scampering off the field there.
Well, that cannot happen. Things like that cannot happen on a change of possession. So 1st and 5 now. Gives them a little bit more breathing room from the 16. Commons sends Rankins out of the backfield, and he's going to swing it to him. Has a couple of blockers on the outside, cuts it up to the 20, and a first down at the 26-yard line. Brandon Rankins, a freshman from Aquinas High School, averages about 7 yards per carry, and that actually counts as a handoff, as a run play.
Yeah, Rankins had 8 carries for 106 yards and 2 TDs last week, so very efficient with his touches.
1st and 10 from the 26. They rotate several running backs, and as mentioned, 3 different quarterbacks have had significant time, but Commons is the one that passes the ball the most. No score just underway. We're 5 minutes into the game. Rankins on play action this time, and the throw and the catch is made by Cameron Steen, a freshman. And that's another first down to move the chains.
Hunter Allen on the tackle.
So 2 plays, 2 first downs. And just like that, they've got the ball out at their own 38-yard line.
First down at the 38.
Commons spreads them out 4 wide. And Rankins gets it up the middle, cuts his way through the line, has the first down, and spills into Mesa territory at the 49-yard line. Move those chains again.
Yeah, Mesa first made contact with him on the 45, and he just bulldozed forward for about another 5 or 6 yards. I noticed there are 17 seconds left on the snap clock. They're running a fast pace as well. Both sides of the ball on offense are hurrying up to the line and snapping the ball and getting on with the next play.
Hunter Allen had to come off the field. Back to throw Commons. Under some heat this time. Rolls to his right, throws on the run, and he threw it away. Closest man to it was Cameron Steen.
He almost gave his guy a chance to catch. It wasn't a complete throwaway, but it was out of bounds.
Well, something similar to what we saw last week, that front 4 for the Olympians getting some good pressure on the quarterback. 2nd down and 10 from the 49-yard line. Commons now will set Rankins off the right side, looking over to the sideline to their head coach, Garrett Campbell, in his first season at the helm. Again, some pressure on Commons. He's able to roll away from it and now just dumps it to Rankins, who is knocked out of bounds. There on the play was Jason Majid.
Yeah, that was really intended to be a pass play, but there's just nobody open for him downfield. And Rankins, who pulled off from the right, basically just stood around and stopped and waited to be the safety valve there and was able to pick up a yard or 2.
So they'll call it a pickup of maybe a half a yard there. It'll be 3rd and long. Trips to the left side. Commons now with an empty backfield has 2 receivers to the right. Mesa looks like they might be coming after him. Now they dump out of it. 4-man rush. Catch made at the 40-yard line. And another first down, still on his feet, down to the 33. And that's Hunter Risen with the catch and run. Risen is a sophomore from Skyline High School in Michigan, a bounce back from Michigan State. And yes, that last name is who you think it is. He is the son of Andre Bad Moon Rising.
Ball to 32.
1st and 10. From the 32, Commons steps up, had all day to throw. That catch is made at the 22. Down to the 15-yard line. That's Tim Allen with the catch. And just picking up first downs left and right on this drive.
I don't think there's been much home improvement going on here, but Mesa has really given too big of a cushion to the receivers in the last couple of plays.
Yeah, that's a great point, and the receivers are just taking what they're giving them. Commons came into today with a completion percentage at just a tick over 60% as flags before the snap. So that goes against the Hornets. That'll back them up. Hornets come in with a 3-4 record, but do not be fooled. They held the number one team in the nation, Riverside, to just 16 points, albeit in a 16-7 loss. Lost a double overtime game to Southwestern and lost by 1 point to Ventura, all ranked teams. Rankin's right up the middle, down inside the 5, and he is spun. Did they give him the touchdown? They did. Rankins with the touchdown. Ron and Fullerton strikes first. It comes with 7:19 to go in the quarter.
Yeah, it looked like when Rankins was initially brought down, he actually fell on the stomach of the defender with his bottom. He wasn't down. He was able to bounce off around into the end zone. But Ted, I think you could have ran through that hole for a touchdown. It was pretty gaping.
That was just a masterful drive by the Hornets. This will be Fonseca now to try and make it a 7-0 game. Good snap, good hold, and the kick has got plenty of leg. It is good, and the Hornets with a 7-0 lead.
Well, it's going to be important for Mesa to answer that drive right there, because if they don't, this could be it for a very long evening. The Hornets showed on that drive that they have the ability to score quickly. As we talked about before the game, there's plenty of offensive weapons, both running the ball and as receivers. And it looked like Mesa was a little bit maybe too worried about the run and was soft against the pass for some easy first downs to extend that drive.
So they'll look to make some adjustments defensively. Meanwhile, Antoine Ware will be back deep to receive the Alex Fonseca kickoff. Now down 7-0. One thing that Gary Watkins stressed going into last week, in fact, was about the ability to overcome adversity, that his team does really well when they get off to quick starts, but that they can get down on themselves a little too easily when they face some adversity. Well, they certainly overcame that last week, and now they're going to have to make adjustments again here. Fonseca again goes for that corner, this time kicked it into the end zone, and that's a touchback. So that'll give Hartzog and company their second opportunity.
Well, in the first drive, I liked Mesa's momentum and the rhythm they were in, the quick play. But I think it might serve them to actually slow things up a bit and make sure that you're executing and not necessarily just rushing the line and snapping the ball.
And we'll see what Gary Watkins thinks as Asante Hartzog leads his offense out. A trips formation to the right side, one receiver to the left. 7:19 to go first quarter, 7-0. Fullerton off to the early lead on their first drive of the game. Quick throw and a miscommunication there. That was intended for Ware. Ware cut to the inside. The throw went to the outside. So second down and 10 coming up. Andrew Wimmer is set up to the left of Hartzog, the quarterback. Fullerton jumping into the gaps now, and now they back up. They drop back into a zone, and that came out funny from Hartzog's hand. It almost looked like he wanted to pump it, and then he was already committed to throw it and just had to follow through.
Yeah, it looked tipped, but it wasn't. I'd be keeping your eyes on Dominic McManus here. He's been kind of their go-to guy to convert a 3rd and long.
Very good possession receiver, and they need 10 yards here. at the 25-yard line. Got to get to the 35. Hartzog with that same formation, trips to the right, just a 4-man rush. Steps up in the pocket, now scrambles to his left, sets, fires deep downfield, and it is overthrown. 2 receivers in the vicinity. Antoine Ware was one of them, and the other was Cade Hackey. But they're going to go 3 and out and kick it right back to Fullerton.
That's not how you gain momentum in the game there.
Did not try a run play there, just tried to continue with the passing game. Hunter Risen back to receive the kick from Raul Reyes, who stands back at his own 10-yard line. Fullerton comes with a heavy rush, and Reyes kicked it off the side of his foot. That's going to hit in Mesa territory and then take a roll, where Fullerton is going to get great field position at their own 45-yard line, leading 7-0. And oh, by the way, that drive by Mesa only took 30 seconds off the clock.
Well, I talked about earlier in the game with the 350 yards that the Hornets were able to put on the ground. And my big concern here is that Mesa's stamina on defense, going into the fourth quarter, and they didn't help their defense at all on that drive.
Fullerton coming off of a 55-42 win over Palomar last week. All day to throw, and now the throw to the right side is caught 45-40 to the 35 and down to about the 32-yard line. That was Tim Allen with the catch on the pass by Cooper Callis.
There literally was no defender in sight for about 10 yards circling around Allen.
Callis, a sophomore from Jackson, Missouri, went to Jackson High School. Quick throw to the right side. That's caught along the sideline down to the 25. So similar to Mesa, when they're on a roll, they'll get right back on the ball and not do a whole lot of substituting. Lucky Avenger checks in as a running back. Went to La Habra High School. He's a sophomore, 6'1", 215. Callis will set up in a pistol formation with Avenger behind him. And he will get the handoff right up the middle, and he is stuffed. Right at the line of scrimmage for no gain, and that'll bring up 3rd and short.
Avenger is one of the 2 running backs who went over 100 yards last week for the Hornets. He had 11 carries. Oh, I'm sorry, he had 11 carries for 24 yards, but he did have a TD. So the other 2 running backs got over 100, but he only averaged 2.2 yards per carry.
3rd and 2.
3rd down, 2 yards to go. Callis checks over the Mesa defense. Boy, could they use a stop here. Avenger, again up the middle, hit at the line, but dragging tacklers near the 1st down mark. He's going to come up about a yard short. They mark him down at the 24-yard line, and let's see what Garrett Campbell decides to do. Isaiah Mitchell in on the tackle.
Also, Jason McGee.
It's going to be a field goal attempt. And no, it's not. They brought the kicker right back off the field. It's going to be a 4th and a yard. Bring in the jumbo package I formation. And the handoff goes to the right side. They make him go wide. And on second effort, I think Rankins got it. Brandon Rankins initially had to swing that outside. Isaiah Sales eventually brought him down. But it's going to be a 1st down for the Fullerton Hornets.
There was a chance to get him in the backfield, but he was able to turn the corner.
4:35 to go. Fullerton converts on 4th and short, and they lead it 7-0. Cooper Callis in the shotgun. Callis back to throw, 4-man rush, great protection. Lofts one over the middle. It is caught, and it is a touchdown.
Touchdown number 10.
Touchdown by Hunter Risen, the sophomore, and it is now 13-0 on the 20-yard pass by Cooper Callis, and they're just making it look really easy right now.
Yeah, Risen had a defender all over his back. I'm actually surprised that there wasn't any flags on the field. I mean, it would have been declined if it was, but looked very close to a pass interference. He was still able to pull it down for a touchdown.
Well, the disturbing thing to me right now, Dan, is no pressure on the quarterback. They're standing back there, as they say, eating a ham sandwich. Maybe making it before they eat it. Here's Fonseca now to add the extra point, and it is 14-0 Fullerton. We're not quite 11 minutes into this game.
I think Mesa absolutely has to get a running game going here on this drive. Get some first downs, take some time off the clock, take a deep breath, go down and get some points on the board, and then take it from there.
Yeah, like I said, the disturbing part is the defensive line not getting any pressure. The offensive line for Fullerton pushing them around. Now, that having been said, we haven't seen a lot of blitzing. It's been a 4-man rush. So that may be something they'll have to consider moving forward when Fullerton passes the football.
You know, you have two defenses here who give up 28 or 35 points a game, basically. So we knew coming into tonight there would be a likelihood there'd be 60 to 70 points scored. So you have two quick scores by the Hornets. The Olympians aren't out of this game early on, but they need to put together a drive and make a statement, and I said really kind of just calm things down a bit.
Ethan Smiley, Rance Garner back deep, maybe looking for a big return here from Garner. Antoine Ware had been back there for the previous two kickoffs, and it's going to be a pooch kick. And somebody's got to get it for Mesa. That was a live ball down near the 25-yard line. And I think they did come up with it.
Recovery 56, Mesa.
And coming up with it was Ryan Sanford.
I think Sanford would have been better just batting that ball out of bounds instead of trying to catch it. There was a bit of a scramble there for the ball, and I think the Hornets could have come away with it, but Mesa retains possession.
So it's as good as a touchback. They'll have it at their own 25-yard line. And let's see if Asante Hartzog can get things rolling.
Number 4 in the backfield.
Andrew Wimmer is his setback. 3-receiver set. Pistol formation for Hartzog. And it will be a play action. Roll out to the right, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by Junior Wiley, and he's going to take it to the house. A pick 6 for Wiley. And it's just like that, a 20-0 Fullerton lead.
That was brutal.
Ball was intercepted on the 26-yard line by Junior Wiley.
It almost looked like Junior Riley was expecting that, and he was certainly ready for it. Almost dropped it, but was able to waltz into the end zone.
The Olympian receiver hadn't even made the turn for the ball. It wasn't like he was expecting. I think that all started with the 4-man pressure, getting some pressure on the quarterback and disrupting whatever the original play call was supposed to do.
Fullerton's going to try and go for 2 here for some reason, up 20-0.
Number 2 in the backfield.
And it will be a play action, flip it going the other way, and they caught the Mesa defense over pursuing. And in for the 2-point conversion is Keshawn Griffin, making it 22-0.
Ted, what do you think the strategy there is to go for 2? Is it just kind of to keep that momentum going? But I think you can have a momentum shift if you miss. It certainly does kind of rub your nose into things early on, and you know that at some point now Mesa knows that they're likely going to need to go for 2. Not only are you down 3 scores, but at some point you're going to have to go for 2. So I guess that does, put the dagger in a little bit early on.
Well, I'll tell you what the motivation is right now they feel like they can do anything.
And that's what I got, that there was like, hey, we have a chance to practice this, so why not practice it? That's what it felt like.
Rance Garner will again be the return man for Mesa.
33 and 25 to return.
Garner stands back at his 4-yard line waiting the kickoff from Fonseca.
Fonseca kicking off for the Hornets. Rance Garner deep to receive for the Olympians.
And Fonseca is going to pooch it again. Fair catch called for and muffed. You can't return it.
35. 33.
And that'll be Smiley who ends up with the football. So right now, things all out of sorts for Fullerton. Dan, I think you mentioned it. They just need to put together some first downs and just try to calm things down here. And because it's all Fullerton right now. They're having a good time on the sidelines. Not a lot of fans made the trip down from Fullerton, but enough of them that you can hear them from this side of the field.
Well, Fullerton is playing the Olympians' style of play. They're just doing a better job at it.
Hartzog has them set now. 3 receiver set. Wimmer in the backfield. Quick handoff to Wimmer off the right side. They got good penetration, did the Hornets. And Wimmer is brought down at the 31-yard line. And that tackle was made by David Farmer coming up from his safety position. 3:40 to go in the first quarter. And Fullerton has got the Mesa Olympians staggered. A 22-0 lead early on. The good news is it's early. Lots of time to chip away, but some adjustments certainly needing to be made. Hartzog hands off to Wimmer again, this time left side, and he's caught from behind by Joe Christensen, the freshman from Servite High School. And this is a big third down, Dan. They cannot afford to just go 3 and out again and kick it back to that Hornet offense.
Yeah, it might be 30-0 before the end of the first quarter if they do that.
Down under 3 minutes to go, trips right. Hartzog now checking over the defense. And the Hornets jumped. Flags on the play. This is probably a free play. Lofts it deep and incomplete. But they're going to get 5 yards on the encroachment call coming up here against the Fullerton Hornets. Here's the call from the official. So that was Nick Senatiempo on the defensive line. It'll still be third down, but they got an extra 5 yards, so now 3rd and short.
Yeah, good job identifying the free play, but that was 10 yards past Greenfield, so he never really had an opportunity to convert it.
Yeah, that's one where you at least put the ball up in the air and see what happens. You have nothing to lose. So 3rd down and about a yard. They've got to get the ball to the 39-yard line. Hartzog in the pistol formation. Now sends a man in motion. That's Noah Arajow as tight end. Wimmer takes it up the middle, and he's going to be stuffed in the backfield for a loss on the play. That was Alan Giron with the initial hit along with Elijah Mott.
Well, it looked like the tight end was brought in for blocking in that purpose, but actually it kind of got out in front of the running back. It did
exactly right.
It wasn't able to create a hole there for the running back to run in right behind him. There was a good 3 or 4 yard gap, and the Hornets were able to fill that gap and get a loss.
Well, Reyes has to come in and kick. Hunter Risen backs up to his 31-yard line, hands on his knees, waiting the kick. It'll be that rugby-style kick again and take a roll. And down at the 33-yard line. So again, the Hornets will have good field position. Already leading it 22-0.
So I was over at my in-laws last night. My father-in-law got a call from his good friend. Goes, I got a deal for you. Free beer at a private party at a bar in Del Mar to watch the rugby national championship game. The catch is, it starts at 2 in the morning. He was like, it's a chance in a lifetime that I'm not taking. Now it's a...
So it'll be 1st and 10 Fullerton from the 33-yard line. New quarterback in there, rolling to his right side. Throws on the run, and he's wide open. Caught at the 30-yard line, and he's gone for a touchdown. Unbelievable. It's a 67-yard touchdown pass from Christian Frocage to Tim Allen.
Long pass for the touchdown.
And the wheels have just come off here in the first quarter for the Mesa Olympians.
The Olympian defender, for some reason, came up to back on the quarterback who's 30 yards upfield and totally just dropped his coverage on the wide receiver.
Fonseca now to try the extra point, make this a 29-0 first quarter. Good snap, good hold, and it is through and good.
I half expect the Hornets to try an onside kick here just because they can.
Well, that's right. I mean, and if you don't like it, then stop somebody. You know, I mean, to me, that's Fullerton's job, right? If Mesa was on the same end, they'd be doing the exact same thing, looking to get as many points as possible, especially while you've got the momentum on your side. Just a complete broken coverage on a 67-yard pass. They've used 3 different quarterbacks. They've scored 4 touchdowns in less than 6 minutes.
Hey, it's still early.
It's still early, but it's 29-0. A minute 41 to go here in the first quarter. Olympians are shell-shocked, to say the least. Now Garner moves up a little bit, and Dom McManus has come in as well to give them another pair of hands if they want to keep trying that pooch kick. They're going to have somebody who's used to catching the ball up there. Fonseca says, all right, then I'll just go with the customary kickoff, and Garner from the 10. He's near the 20-yard line, but he'll be hemmed in at about the 18. Jonathan Smith making the tackle downfield.
And Garner on the kickoff.
Well, nothing's changed. The offense has got to try and find a way to stay on the field for more than 3 plays.
I still go back that they need to establish a running game and try to control the clock here. There's still over 3 quarters of play, so yeah, you're down by 4 touchdowns. But there's no sense in trying to rush things and try to get them all back on this drive.
That's right. You can't throw a 29-point touchdown, so you just got to start really with getting a first down.
4 and 25 in the backfield.
Garner and Wimmer both in the backfield this time for Hartzog, so a little different look with the 2 backs. This worked out well for them last week. There goes Wimmer in motion. Garner gets it up the middle. Hornets watched the film last week. They were ready for it. On the handoff up the middle, and he'll get a couple up to the 24-yard line. Tackle made by Jamal Dorsey.
But that was still a gain, and I think that's a play that's going to be available for them as much as they want it right now.
2nd and 6 from the 24-yard line. 3 receivers left side. Hartzog back to throw, under trouble, and he gets tripped up. Looked like he was going to get out of it, but then was tripped up at the last moment. And the sack by Cameron Proctor, that's his 4th sack of the year. He's the left defensive tackle for Fullerton. Down to 40 seconds to go first quarter, and another 3rd and long coming up, 3rd and 7. Hartzog against a 4-man rush. Throws over the middle. It's tipped and almost intercepted. Joe Christensen, who's had a heck of a first quarter, gets the tip, and it's another 3 and out for Mesa.
Well, the Hornets have 4 linemen that are pretty spread out along the line and are dropping 7 there, making it very hard to complete a pass over the middle. It's basically like, all right, I think these 4 guys are going to be able to come out and get your quarterback and go ahead and pass it.
TJ Griffin is back deep to receive, and it's going to be a fake. Nope, he's going to run with it. And it hits at the 40 and possibly the 39. Let's see where they mark it. No, they're going to say it went out of bounds well before that. Goodness gracious, he's still going. It's like the Price is Right guy going up the mountain. He stopped right at the 40-yard line of Mesa.
Much further up that mountain, it would have been a safety.
Yeah, he went over the cliff. He went over the cliff on that one. You do not win the prize. 18 seconds to go in the first quarter, and what has been just a shell-shocked defense for Mesa as they trail 29-0.
If I was the Hornets, I would go deep right here.
Number 8 quarterback.
Back in there is Quinn Commons. Back to throw. They bring some pressure, but it's picked up. Caught at the 31-yard line down to the 27.
Number 24 catch. 11 tackle.
Tackle was made by Dariel Weathers. Charles Byers Jr. making the catch. And Fullerton just piling up the first downs. That's going to be the final play of the first quarter. They'll switch ends 29 to nothing. The Hornets lead it. We'll take a break and be right back in just a moment on Mesa Athletics.
A reminder to all Hornet and Olympian fans.
Start of the second quarter, Hornets with a 1st and 10, ball at the 27 of Mesa. And a pitch out to the right side, and out of bounds is Lucky Avenger. Tackle made by Sean Moskowitz and Isaiah Sales, also in on the play. And it'll be third down coming up. No, second down, excuse me. Not a big gain there, just a couple yards.
2nd and 8 from the 25.
Commons from the shotgun, Avenger in the backfield, way out to his right. Late blitz comes, throw for the end zone, and it is caught, and that's a touchdown. Kalen Nassef with the catch, a 25-yard touchdown pass from Quinn Commons. And the route continues, 35 to nothing, extra point pending.
We got a Hornet player down on the ground around the 30. Sean Moskowitz, the defender for the Olympians, actually held on that play, but it just didn't make a difference. They still got a touchdown.
Well, that time they brought a blitz, and that gave them single coverage, and Commons exploited it.
But do you want the good news, Ted?
Sure, please give me some good news.
Well, last week, we witnessed a pretty amazing comeback in the fourth quarter. And if the Olympians were to win this game, we will have witnessed 2 amazing comebacks in a row.
Well, that is a huge if right now at this point, my friend. Not impossible, but certainly need to see some of the trends from this one change dramatically.
A little concerned. We still have a player down around the 30.
That is Drake Stanton. He's a sophomore, 6'3", 310 pounds, out of Lamar High School in Texas. And, you know, we talked about it with the offensive line as well as Fullerton's O-line is playing. You force the defense to blitz, which is then going to send up single coverage. And Commons did a really good job of finding the mismatch on the outside and put that ball in a perfect spot. Kalen Nassef was the only one that was going to touch that football, and he made a diving catch in the back corner of the end zone.
Well, I did notice here that the Hornets, I think their athletic trainer, called for players to come in. I don't know if they're going to help him off the field.
Yeah, it looks that way. And his head coach, Garrett Campbell, out there. Garrett Campbell in his first year at the helm, but certainly no stranger to Fullerton football. His dad, Dick Campbell, was the head coach for 15 seasons. Actually, not the head coach, but one of the assistant coaches. And going back to his youth, Garrett Campbell was a Fullerton ball boy, and in 95 and 96 was the quarterback for the Fullerton Hornets. In fact, I called those games when I was over at Palomar College.
That's quite a story.
So certainly he's grown up in the Fullerton culture. And another interesting note about this Hornet squad, they actually are in the midst of a 2-year probation. They had to forfeit their 2017 national championship and all of their 2018 wins due to use of ineligible players.
Ted, you've been around the junior college scene doing this, a lot longer than I have. How does that impact recruiting? It doesn't look like much right now, but you got to, is there a focus of like, hey, if I go to this school and there's not an opportunity to play in a bowl game or they're on this, does it have the same impact that it would at a four-year school?
I mean, maybe a small one, but really, the idea of going to a junior college, there's several reasons, but a big one for somebody that wants to go on to play in Division 1, 2, 3, what have you, is to just get themselves on film instead of being buried down on a depth chart somewhere. A chance to go out and get some playing time and get noticed. And trust me, there are colleges all over the place that come out to these games. I'll tell you another story right after this extra point try. Fonseca puts it through to make it 36-0. One of the things that Tom Kraft used to do when he was the head coach at Palomar College is they always played afternoon games. And that was twofold. Number one, that allowed him to play his game and then drive up to Orange County or Norwalk or wherever it was and watch his competition who normally played at night. But it also gave him an opportunity to talk to recruiters about his players, besides just being there at his game, but going to other games and having a chance to just have their ear. You're sitting right next to them and you start talking to them about, hey, I've got this quarterback, I've got this running back, I've got this wide receiver, what have you. And talk them up to these guys and maybe selling on coming out to watching one of the Palomar games.
That's pretty smart there. That's a lot of dedication to the players. And I think you see that here with Watkins, that he's proud of this program for their overall win-loss and stepping up in conference. But they're also very proud of what these students are doing academically, too.
Let's see what kind of kickoff we get here. It's another pooch kick. And running up on it, and again muffing it at about the 31-yard line. There's another thing. And Mesa has got to figure that out. Because if they don't cover that ball up, that's as good as an onside kick. Recovering that one for the Mesa Olympians was Sean Moskowitz again.
Similar to that line drive punt that bounces around and doesn't look all that exciting because it doesn't go very high in the air, this pooch kick is highly effective. Not a lot of bad things are going to happen to you. You're not going to get a ball return for a kick return for a touchdown. There's a greater chance you're going to get a turnover and start deep in the opposing territory.
They're going to start off with a tight end in there, Noah Arajal. Did I mention that Poway High School is my alma mater?
Yeah.
That's where he went. Asante Hartzog will hand it off. No, he's going to keep it. Left side, up the middle, across the 40 to the 43-yard line. That's what you like to see from your offensive leader.
That's the best, maybe, offensive play of the game so far for the Olympians.
Cameron Proctor made the tackle for the Hornets. Hey, a first down for Mesa. It's a start. From their own 43-yard line, they're down 36-0 early in the second quarter. Swinging out to the left side and now tripped up. I'll tell you what, Hartzog had a guy at his feet. That was Troy McDonald. And he didn't see him. And he tripped over him, and then finish him off was Braylon Willis.
It looked like he was stepping up to make the pass,
yeah.
And then the feet were there were hands on his feet, so that didn't happen.
He did not see the D lineman laying at his feet and just simply tripped over him. Bad break there for the Olympians. Second down, and about 16 now. Hartzog, play action, quick throw to the left, and it's batted away. Boy, and they are getting some heat on that defensive front, aren't they?
They are, and they're not taking any time off this clock with this play calling.
13-25. Well, you don't want to necessarily take time off the clock
when you're down.
But you want to get some first downs and get some forward movement, and it was like they got that scramble from Hartzog, then went backwards and incomplete. 3rd and 16.
I think
Garner is the runner in the backfield off the left hip. 4-man rush. They get good blocking this time. And miscommunication, cutting off his route, was Antoine Ware, and the throw went deep. Well, that's just the way this night's going.
Yeah,
it has been ugly tonight.
Ware turned around the 50 expected to see the ball, and instead it was sailing over his head and landed on the 30. And I think the point I was making with taking some time off the clock. Obviously, you want as much time as possible when you're down 36-0. But it's the fatigue on your defense. Just giving your defense a little break.
And the kick is away. Caught by T.J. Griffin just shy of the 35-yard line. So 13-11 to go in the first half. 36-0 in favor of the Hornets.
First and 10, Hornets.
Well, it's never fun to be, on the wrong side of a blowout, especially at home and a team that has a lot of pride. I think Watkins is going to be talking about pride at halftime.
Yeah, no question.
Number 3,
Quarterback in there is Cooper Callis. He is in the shotgun. And the handoff goes up the middle to the 38-yard line. That's Brandon Rankins with the carry.
tackle 32 and 24.
Head over to Brandon Rankins.
In on the play, Jason Majid and Kuino Makahele.
Tackled by Julian Sanderlin.
On second down, Rankins again. And he pushes his way forward to the 41-yard line, bringing up 3rd and 3.
24 with the tackle. 14.
Sammy Muniz comes up from his safety spot to make the play.
Isaiah Bolton on the tackle. Ball now at the 41.
Yeah, there's no reason right now for
3rd
the
and
Hornets
3.
to do anything fancy, especially if you get 3 or 4 yards of play on the ground.
Yeah, it's a kind of a tricky thing, though. You also don't want to lose all that momentum that you've built. 12:15 to go in the half. Here comes the rush, setting it up underneath. That's Risen at the 40. Got the first down, midfield, and out of bounds just shy of the Mesa 40-yard line. That was a good job there by Commons, just dumping it off to Risen, who was wide open.
Risen showed some speed there. He was able to break away from the defender and get upfield.
Formation set.
Spread him out 4 wide again for Commons. Play action. Commons looking to throw deep down the middle, and it's caught at the 10, and he may have just been knocked down by his own man, or it could have been a touchdown.
Tackle number 7.
Kashawn Griffin that time with the catch.
Yeah, Hunter Allen, I think, was in on the tackle there.
And the Hornets are knocking at the door for more. First and goal from the 7-yard line. Commons. And a false start coming up.
That's about the only thing that's been slowing him up is a few false
Yes.
starts.
Thank goodness
A
for
little
the
assist
flags.
there from the refs.
And actually, Mesa got him off the hook by calling a timeout. So there was no false start. 11:32 to go. Well, Mesa comes in having won last week's game in exciting fashion against Cerritos, 23-22. Of course, Asante Hartzog leading a game-winning drive that went 4 plays, 95 yards, in 42 seconds. It was amazing, and it was really a drive that shouldn't have happened if Cerritos had just basically knelt on the football, but you also got to give Mesa credit for taking advantage of that. They certainly still had to go 95 yards in a short period of time.
Cerritos got the ball with about 3.5 minutes to go, and I would say probably about the 30, 35-yard line. It really was a situation where it was, run a few plays, take as much time as you can off, and then kick a field goal so you can go up by 9. But you had at least 2 pass plays that didn't take any time off the clock, and then you had a missed field goal. And the Olympians got the ball with 2.5 minutes to go, and they go on this drive. And when they score, and there's a minute to go in the game, I got to tell us that they did it too quick. I thought it was a case where you have this great drive, and then you're gonna let them cut down and score a field goal. But the defense made a stand, and that didn't happen.
Yeah, the defense played great last night. Tonight, they've got their work cut out for them. Already 36 points on the board, all of them for Fullerton. New quarterback in there now, Cooper Callis. Callis runs to his left and will pitch to Rankins. Hit at the 5 and out of bounds at the 4-yard line. It'll bring up second down and goal.
Tackle 32 and 2 combined.
Tackled by Jason Majid.
3-yard pickup.
11:10 to go in the first half. Right on the ball. Play action and taking it himself as Callis. And he's into the end zone for a touchdown on the 4-yard run. And push that score up to 42-0.
That was actually a very well designed keeper there. It had me fooled. I thought it was handing off to the running back. So you're up 42-0. What's the math say? Do you go for 2 here?
The math says that Mesa is getting it handed to him right now. And you mentioned pride earlier. That's certainly about what they need to look to muster up here in the remainder of this game. Fonseca to try and make this a 43-point first half. And he does. 43-0 Fullerton. It has been all Hornets since about midway through the first quarter.
Now, Ted, you've announced for, I believe, Palomar for about 15 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most lopsided game that you ever announced? Is there anything that exceeded what we're seeing here right now?
Oh, yeah. But usually, luckily for me, it was on the Palomar side of things. Tom Kraft was such a master as the offensive play caller. They were really ahead of their time. They did a lot of these things that you're seeing now, back in the mid-90s and into the early 2000s before it became in vogue. And in fact, there were times where he didn't even have a tight end on his roster, didn't need one. And what was amazing about it is the misnomer was, you spread it out, you're going to have 1,000-yard receivers all over the place. But what about your running game? He had one year, national championship year, 93, where he had 2,000-yard rushers and 2,000-yard receivers and a 3,000-yard passer.
When you talk about Kraft in that context, it reminds me of the research I did on Don Coryell.
That's Rance Garner on the kick return. They finally get a return off, and he'll get it out to the 34-yard line. Go ahead.
Well, Coryell started at the junior college level, and the thing when you followed him is his ability to take teams that were performing poorly and turn them around quickly with innovative offenses and doing things that you hadn't seen before. And I really was unaware of all this history with Tom Kraft. I mean, in terms of what he did at the junior college level, I was kind of just aware of the mediocre success he had at SDSU. Well, Don Coryell, led them to a national championship at SDSU. So, but I think his achievements should be noted.
Hartzog swings it out left side. That's Wimmer, 35 to the 40-yard line. And he'll get it up to the 41-yard line. In on the play, Jacob Jones making that play. Second down and short. Yeah, Kraft did struggle as the head coach at San Diego State. Now, when he was offensive coordinator, they had quite a bit of success before that. There's a handoff to Garner, and he'll be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. This is what they've got to stop, is the 2 steps forward, or 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Now it's suddenly third down and about 4. Mesa just struggling to find the right combination here. And of course, when we speak of Tom Kraft, he's now the head man at Riverside Community College, and they're the #1 team in the nation. Jumping off sides, free play down the left side. McManus leaps, and it was actually incomplete. It would have been intercepted by Xavion Steele if he could stay in bounds, but he could not.
Steele, as 2 out of 7 weeks, has been named the National Division Defensive Player of the Week, which includes last week. He has 39, or had 39 tackles coming into this week, and last week he led the team with 7 tackles, 5 solo, 2 assists, and he had an interception, took 85 yards back for a touchdown.
So that'll be a Mesa first down. That's the good news. The bad news is Rance Garner came off the field and he was limping. So they blow the play dead momentarily. First of all, they're going to reset the ball up to the 46-yard line, which is the proper setting. And they also had to get the down marker to show first down. It still said third. That's all situated now. Wimmer in the backfield. 1st and 10. Mesa trailing 43-0. Yes, you heard that right. 43-0. With 9:50 to go in the first half. Triple receivers right side. McManus, the lone receiver left. It's Wimmer on the draw play, and he gets a good gainer up to the 48-yard line, and they are into Fullerton territory for the first time.
Jacob Jones on the tackle, the ball now at the
Baby steps, Dan. Baby steps.
Well, you know, they're
2nd and 4.
Wimmer play action. It's McManus, and he breaks a tackle and lunges forward to the 45. That'll bring up a 3rd and short, and they're going to try and speed up this tempo now offensively.
Well, the Hornets are spreading out their defensive linemen. So that run game play up the middle for 3 or 4 yards is there. And I know that you want to score quickly and try to get, some sort of comeback going. But I would say take advantage of that. Sustain the drive. Get some momentum back.
Hartzog checking over the defense. And it will be another handoff. That's to Wimmer, and he'll get right back to the line of scrimmage. On that play, Mesa playing without their left tackle, Nicholas Gallo, who also came limping off.
By number 90, Josh Karenko. No gain on the play.
They're right back on the ball on 4th and 2. 46-yard line, trips to the right side. Now Hartzog, after he has a look at the defense, will look back over for the signals on the sideline. Fullerton coming with a full house, got rid of it off the hands. That was Taj Broomfield, the intended receiver, and they would have had the first down and possibly a touchdown.
Well designed, right over the middle of the field, no defenders around, plenty of green, and it's just, some nights it just goes that way, and you just...
when you're struggling like this, somebody's got to make a play, and that was a spot there where you've got to make that catch. He put it right on his hands.
It looked like he was already turning his head upfield for the touchdown instead of going, hey, let's secure the ball, get the first down, which is important here, and now you turn it over on downs.
Christian Frokaj is into the game now for the Hornets. He'll have trips to the left side. 8:11 to go in the half. They take over on downs at the 46-yard line. Frokaj throws to the left side, caught at midfield, and into Mesa territory at the 49-yard line.
At what point, Ted, you're still only halfway through the second quarter, do you start going, hey, let's giving some guys an opportunity you may not normally get one?
Hunter Risen on that cash. Frokaj, play action, pump fake. Now he scrambles to his left, and it's tipped again and intercepted. I think that was the D lineman, Isaiah Sales. Sales came up with the tipped ball. So turnover for the Mesa Olympians defense.
Hey, where's turnover Tina here? All right. Turnover Tina, the trash can there, has had some better days, and their defense is taking out a little emotion right now on the turnover Tina.
Well, that was some good veteran leadership by the sophomore playing his final home game here at Merrill Douglas Stadium. And the offense gets to take over at their own 47-yard line. Hartzog has them spread out 4 wide. And the handoff to Wimmer. And he'll get it down to the 47-yard line of the Hornets.
Jacob Jones on the tackle.
7:25 to go in the half, 43-0.
Just shy of the 47
Hornets lead it. Well, he said somebody needed to make a play, and Sales did that on the defensive side. Let's see what they do on offense. 2nd down. Hartzog back to throw, and he'll have to scramble out of there. Got down to the 40-yard line and then goes down at the 38.
Got a flag down here at around the 45-yard line.
Yep.
But Herzog did a good job of identifying the blitz.
And that's going to be holding against Mesa.
Talk about taking one step forward and two steps back. That's what we've seen all.
That's what's been happening all night tonight. Alex Nagy is guilty of the hold. So instead of a first down at the 38-yard line, it will remain second down at their own 43.
Now at the Mesa 43-yard line.
Spread them out 4 wide again.
Second and 14.
And you put yourselves in these long situations that just makes the defense better because they can put some heat on them, on the quarterback. Hartzog checks over to the sideline. Creeping in, showing blitz. Here they come. And the ball is batted away again. And that was Troy McDonald looking for McManus on the left side. It didn't get anywhere near him. Now it's third and long.
Yeah, it's one of those go out a few steps, turn around, try to get a catch and pick up some of that, yardage you lost on holding. And now you're backed up again.
Third and 14 to the 43.
Cade Hackey, Antoine Ware to the left side. Hartzog with the hard count almost got him to jump. Now checks over to the sideline. Third down and 14. Back to throw. 4-man rush. And he's going to be sacked back at the 36-yard line. It is turning up all Fullerton Hornets here in the first half. The sack was made by Josh Tarango. 6'3", 290-pound freshman. Leads the team with now his 10th sack of the year.
Well, it looks like they're just getting dominated both sides of the line here in this game.
You could say that again. 6 minutes to go. The punter is Thomas Fishburne. Fishburne got it away, a high hanging kick. And McMillan will make the fair catch at the 31-yard line, and the Hornets take over again. 5:49 to go, first half, 43-0 Fullerton.
Ted, I started to ask this question earlier. I mean, we have a night here. It's the last night for a lot of these sophomores to be playing at home. But on the other side of things, when you have a game that's out of hand, what point do you start going, okay, who's the next down the line who may not have a lot of playing time and get them in here and get some snaps and try to give them some in-game experience?
Yeah, that's not going to happen until the second half, probably not till the fourth quarter. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but that would be the time. Play action fake, throw down the left side, and did he make the catch? It looked to me like he was out of bounds. They're going to say he made the catch.
He was.
Wow, I don't know. He seemed to be bobbling it as he went to the ground and landed out of bounds, but they're going to give it to him. Into Mesa territory at the 47-yard line.
That was Coy Thomas with the reception.
Back to throw. Dumps it down low and breaks the tackle, 40-yard line. Fighting his way down to the 39-yard line of Mesa. That was Rankins with the catch. That's been open all day. If they back off, he's always got the check down. And they've really made the Olympians pay.
And a chance to wrap them up for a short gain or a loss and just wasn't able to do it.
On second down, Quinn Commons is the quarterback. From the 39, 2nd and 2. Under 5 minutes to go in a nightmarish first half. It'll be Rankins on the sprint draw. He got the first down, 35 to the 32-yard line. And another first down. They're right back on the ball. The Olympians should have the right to sub there. Nobody held up the snap, but I could have sworn the Hornets subbed before they did, which means they have the right. That's the official not paying attention, because the wide receiver on the sideline substituted, which gives the Olympians the right to sub.
It's going to be 1st and 5 Hornets About the 27.
The
But it's all
officials have been doing
materialized,
a
but-
good job, but that was a bad call.
Yeah, but this is all materialized with this up 43-0 and still running almost a hurry-up offense and catching, just the pace of the game.
Here's a handoff to Rankins off the left tackle. Breaks the tackle, and got the first down on second effort at the 21-yard line.
Sean Moskowitz on the
And they're going to
tackle.
get right back on the ball. No substitution that time, so the Olympians can't. 4 minutes to go in the half.
First down at the 22-yard line.
Now they are holding him up, and they shouldn't have. They've got it backwards. There's the throw for the end zone, and flashing open and making the catch in the end zone for a touchdown. That was Coy Thomas, who made the acrobatic catch earlier. That one from 22 yards out makes it 49-0.
And he made it look easy. He just blew right by the defender, and the defender never turned around and looked for the ball. And despite the fact he's sitting there with his hands out waiting for it.
Now Fonseca will try the extra point to make it a half 100 in the first half. And it's good.
Alex Fonseca on the conversion.
Well, there's only really spots on the scoreboard for the two numbers. I've always wondered what happens if you get over that.
If they go over that, there might be some problems on the field at the end of this one. If you get my drift.
Yeah.
$50-0.
So, you're Coach Watkins. What do you do at this point?
That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, really, I think this is more on the players. This isn't about adjustments. This is about what's inside now.
Yeah, when you see the defenders not wrapping up for a tackle, getting blown by on a touchdown there, it seems like even though there's half a game left, that they've basically given up to a certain. I hate to say that because I know these guys put a lot of pride in, but it seems they're lacking a spark or an energy here to say enough is enough. Let's have some pride here and stop this, and at least try to make this thing respectable.
Well, and let's remember, this isn't the last game of the season. It's the last home game of the season. You've still got 2.5 games left in the year when you count the second half of this one. Garner from the 10. Yeah, they're going to ask him to put 10 seconds back on the clock. Maybe a little hometown cooking, trying to get him to the locker room here.
Well, we get a little. We're not too far from the ocean here, and a little of the that marine layer is starting to come in and settle on the field. Not too bad now, but it could thicken up quite a bit.
Nice to see some moisture back in the air again. 3:40 to go. Hartzog gets a good block as he rolls out. Now fires. It's tipped and incomplete.
We do have a flag, and Herzog.
Oh
might
man,
be down.
Hartzog is laid out at the
Could be a late
11-yard
hit.
line. I didn't see the play.
Yeah, I was
but
following the
obviously
ball.
he was hit late. Personal foul against Tanner Bean. By the way, speaking of personal fouls, you'll recall last week Darian Williams was called for a targeting call on a kickoff, and because of being kicked out of that game, he is also not in today's game.
That's a huge
You have to
loss
sit
there.
out one game. It is. Well, and now We're looking at Hartzog, and it looks like he's walking off okay, which is good to see.
I talked to Watkins about that ejection at the end of the game last week, and he felt that it was a completely legal hit, but maybe the head got a little low and there was some helmet to helmet, but there was nothing that was...
Joshua Pissick, the backup quarterback, will come in. Pissick is 6'4", 225, and he is also from Lincoln High School. How about that? Correction, he's from Lincoln, California, not Lincoln High School. And he will hand off to Wimmer up the middle to the 36-yard line. 2nd down and 9 coming up.
Well, that play has been there for the most part, but I think with the backup quarterback and the Hornets are anticipating the run.
Hartzog is on the trainer's table over here on the near sideline. 2nd down and 9. Pissick on the hard count, drew an offsides. Now throws, and it's intercepted. It won't count.
Flag in the play.
The offsides will negate the interception and make it 2nd down again after a 5-yard penalty. Each team with a turnover in this game. 3:03 to go in the half. 50-0.
Well,
Fullerton leads it.
This is speculation because I can't completely see into the medical tent there, but Herzog is sitting up, and I wonder if they're kind of going through the test to make sure that he doesn't have a concussion. From what I've kind of seen with the hand movements, and I think that could possibly be the case down there.
2nd down and 4. Pissick throws under pressure, and the catch is made at the 40 down to the 36-yard line. That was Antoine Ware with the catch. A nice throw by Pissick, hanging in there against a heavy rush, which has been there all night. 2:30 to go in the half. Pissick has them lined up. Some confusion by the Hornets defense. Now they get set. Mesa trying to get on the board before this half ends. Showing blitz, now backing out of it, 4-man rush. Pissick swings it out. Wimmer dropped it. Man, he had open field in front of him. That would have been a decent gain, but not able to hang on. 2nd down and 10 from the 36.
Certainly been a fair share of mental miscues on both sides of the ball here for the Olympians.
Spread them out 4 wide. McManus is the receiver to the near side. He, along with Thomas Fishburne, 2 good possession receivers. And Wimmer false started. Yep, they're going to catch him, and that's going to be a penalty to make it 2nd and 15. Well, you have a new quarterback in there, maybe a little different cadence, and he just got a little jumpy.
Looked like the Hornets were showing blitz there, too, and he may have got a little anxious.
The 41-yard line.
So now it'll go back to the 41, making it 2nd and 15 with 2:01 to go in the half.
2nd and 15 to the 41.
Pissick has them lined up. Three receivers right side. McManus is the lone receiver to the left this time. Linebackers creeping up, and they'll blitz off the left side. Tipped and incomplete, intended for McManus. The tip by Xavion Steele. We got another late hit coming up. And you'd think it's the team that's behind that would be chippy,
Right.
but it's actually the one ahead taking some cheap shots in the backfield. That's going to be a 1st down.
I mean, that's 30 yards on this drive right here, and you know, that's the majority of the offense. They had the one fairly long completion, but
Let's just play football, guys. Let's not I don't like that kind of extra stuff. 1st and 10 now from the 26. Showing blitz up the middle, backing out of it now. Man runs free, and that ball's incomplete as Pissick takes a shot from Cameron Proctor.
Yeah, he threw it at Wimmer, so that was your eligible receiver, but Wimmer had his back to the play there.
Well, what they're doing is they're creeping up the linebackers, but you don't know which one's coming. Somebody's coming on nearly every play. But it makes it confusing for the quarterback who has, and for the offensive line to figure out which way to block. 2nd down and 10. Pissick has the snap. This time they blitz off the right side. He steps up. He's going to scramble, now throws. And was it caught? No, incomplete. Intended for Dom McManus.
Now we got a player down around the 10-yard line for the Olympians. I think
can't see the number yet. He's bent over.
looked like there was a fair amount of green in front of him. If he would have just tucked the ball and ran, he may have picked
That's
him up.
Antoine Ware. Excuse me, Dan. It's Antoine Ware getting up slowly.
We can't afford to lose him. He's one of the most talented receivers on the Olympians.
So a minute 44 to go before halftime. It's 1st and 10 from the 26. Mesa would love to do something positive going into the half. Remember, they also received the ball to start the first half, so they'll be kicking right back to Fullerton in the start of the second half. Cade Hackey checks in for Ware. He's lined up wide to the right side. Meanwhile, Asante Hartzog, the Mesa quarterback, still on the trainer's table. They haven't taken his helmet away. It's sitting behind him.
The good news is he is sitting up.
Pissick back to throw. 4-man rush this time. Picks his way through it, and a flag thrown in the backfield. I believe this is going to be a hold, which they may decline because it'll bring up 4th down. Alex Nagy, good to see that he's back in there. And Raul Reyes now is going to come out and try a long field goal of about 46 yards. This would be a season long for him. Reyes 2 of 3 on field goals this year. His season long is 41. Fullerton calls the timeout with a minute 31 to go before halftime. So Reyes going to try and at least get them some points on the board, trailing 50-0. That's right, I said 50.
I kind of understand trying to get the bagel off the board there, but there was some groans from the crowd when the field goal kick, went on the field, and I don't blame them. It's the field goal isn't going to do anything. You're going to need touchdowns. But on the other side, you want to have something positive to go into the half to talk about. So
yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It's not like you're going to, even if you scored a touchdown on this drive, it doesn't change much. Being down by 50 right now, at this point, you want to just be rewarded for a drive. And, this is a chance to do that.
My real issue, I guess I would take with this is not a short field goal attempt, so it doesn't necessarily, there's a good chance you don't make it. And so you still have a bagel and a missed field goal.
Reyes has mentioned 2 of 3, his season long 41. This would be a 46-yard field goal, pretty much right down the middle. Good snap, good hold. Kick has plenty of leg, but no good. Wide to the left.
So we had the far ref didn't signal at all, and it was the near ref who just signaled no good. From my perspective in the booth, it looked good, but you just, don't always have the right angle looking right down the line there like they do. But like I said, it was not an easy field goal, and now you still, there's not a lot of second guessing that because it's probably not going to make a difference in the game, but I definitely understand the crowd wanting them to go for it.
First and 10 for the Hornets.
125 to go in the half. Cooper Callis now in as the quarterback. Lucky Avenger is the running
Cooper
back.
Callis at quarterback.
Callis has the snap. Good protection. Rolling to his right. Dumps it off. Avenger. This time, Mesa was hip to that check down receiver, and the tackle made by Jason Majid.
Pass complete to Lucky Avenger. Jason Majid on the tackle.
Just a yard on the play. Second down. He did stay in bounds. And it is a handoff to Avenger, who is met right at the line of scrimmage, gets another yard or two, and that's it.
Now we have about 50 seconds for this first half. Mercifully comes to an end.
Jacob Wiggins on the tackle.
Ooh.
Hard count, and it's going to be a false start on Makoti Robertson, a freshman from Texas. Tried to get a jump on the snap count, and Callis got him with the hard count.
So it wasn't a false start, so it's an infraction.
Penalty gives the Hornets the first
Turn off your mic,
and
ref,
37.
before you blow that whistle. First down from the 37-yard line after the offsides call. Down to 20 seconds. They're just going to let the clock run. Callis, flush to his right. Now he's going to run with it and brought down by Isaiah Mitchell, the linebacker.
Keeper on quarterback, Cooper Callis. Tackle on the play number 3, Isaiah Mitchell.
And it doesn't
Mitchell
look
on the
like they're in a
defense.
big rush to get another snap off. That is going to mercifully end the first half. 50-0. Fullerton leads it as they will go to their locker
At
rooms.
the end of the first half of
And Mesa is gonna
the Hornets 50, the Olympians
Talk about
0.
what they do next,
Reminder
coming
again
back out for the second half. Fullerton will get the ball to start the second half. We'll be back with the stats and stories of that one right after this. Somebody's not happy. I don't blame him.
Mesa College. This is your second church time out of the hat.
Reminder again to all Falcon and Olympian fans of the concession stand on the east side of the stadium for your halftime enjoyment. Play resumes at 4th and 15 from the 33. Pass in the end zone and for Cade Hackey, incomplete. Cameron Minor defending on the play for the Falcons. Ball goes over to Cerritos, 1st and 10, Falcons from the 33. Minute 35 to go in the half.
Mesa College. This is your second church time out of the hat. Reminder again to all Falcon and Olympian fans of the concession stand on the east side of the stadium for your halftime enjoyment. Play resumes at 4th and 15 from the 33. Pass in the end zone and for Cade Hackey, incomplete. Cameron Minor defending on the play for the Falcons.
Luis Gonzalez about to kick off for the Mesa Olympians as we start the second half. Fullerton leading at 50-0.
Luis Gonzalez on the kickoff to start our second half of action.
Taken at the 10, 20, 25, 30-yard line, 35, 40. And he's got just one man to beat. Down to the 30-yard line, got the block. And it's going to be a 90-yard kickoff return by Kayshawn Griffin, who has returned his fourth kickoff return for a touchdown on the season.
Wow.
And the hits just keep on coming, don't they?
Where do you start? Special teams, defense, or offense?
Yes. I don't think there's, yeah, all of it. 90 yards on that kickoff return. I believe for Griffin, that makes 3 weeks in a row now that he's returned one to the house.
Play took 15 seconds.
And you talk about disheartening. 57-0.
Well, I don't think the game plan changes much after that, but what do you think Coach Watkins was saying at the half here, down 50-0 now?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you're trying to pump them up, if you're melting the walls. I don't know. There's not really much to say other than, let's try to just get back on track and start thinking about next week. There is another interesting score while we have a moment to tell you about. At halftime down in Chula Vista, Southwestern leads Riverside City College, the number one team in the nation, 12-7. Definitely keep an eye on that one. Palomar is at home tonight as well, and they trail El Camino 17-13. That game is going into the fourth quarter.
And neither the combined scores of those games do not equal 57 points.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's a hilarious stat. Unless you're Mesa.
Alex Fonseca on the kickoff for Fullerton.
Fonseca to boot it away.
For Mesa.
Squib kick. Taken at the 10-yard line by Garner. 20, 25, to the 30, 35, and spilled at the 37-yard line.
Be interesting to see who comes out the quarterback here for Mesa.
I mentioned to you at halftime that, and now Garner is not getting up. Oh boy.
Seems to be in pain. He tried to get up and then rolled back over to his back.
You hate to see this at any moment. By the way, I do see Hartzog on the sideline, but he is not in the huddle to go out on the field. So it appears Hartzog will be done for the night.
And now we have most of Mesa's taken a knee here. There's some concern about the severity of this injury. It's quiet in the stadium.
And they're looking at his left leg. Yeah, it looks like they're testing it for stability in the knee.
You just hate to see it in a game like this, to lose a really good player. You know, any player, but you hate to see injury. But.
Well, the great news is he's up on his feet now.
Have a nice hand for Rand Garner shaking up on there. Kickoff return.
You'll recall he actually came off limping in the first half at the end of the play. And now he does need assistance as he's coming off the field.
Yeah, he's not able to get any pressure on it.
So they've lost Asante Hartzog for the game, and it appears for the time being that they've also now lost Rance Garner. Quarterback Joshua Pissick is the backup quarterback who finished the first half, and he is in there now. takes the snap, fumbled the snap, and he'll have to fall on it at the 31-yard line. And that is tonight's game in a nutshell.
We saw a fair amount of that last week. That's the first miscue on the snap that we've seen this week, so that's a positive.
Well, we have a moment, some other scores of note. Long Beach City College beating up on Moore Park. It's 45-14 at the half there. Mount Sac, 30-3 lead over Cerritos. That game's in the third quarter. On 2nd and 16, Pissick scrambling out to his left side. Has lots of time. Now he's just going to keep running it upfield, and he'll be brought down. Jacob Jones comes up and makes the tackle after a minimal gain.
Jacob Jones on the tackle.
So Cerritos, by the way, tonight's their homecoming game, and they are getting throttled. And you wonder if, like, maybe that's a little carryover from blowing last week's game, like taking a victory and turning it into a loss.
I was thinking the same thing, but the same kind of is not translated here for Mesa.
This is true. From the 34-yard line, 3rd and 13. Saddleback leads Golden West 42-17, just starting the third quarter there. And now timeout is called, so some confusion there. We'll keep rolling through the scoreboard here. We have no score update for you for Grossmont Orange Coast. That one is not updated. So that gets you up to date on everything around here.
So you have a kickoff return for a touchdown, injury on the pursuing kickoff, and then a fumbled snap. That's how we've started the first minute and 57 seconds of the second half. And now instead of trailing 50-0, Mesa's trailing 57-0. Hopefully they get some, I don't know, momentum is the right word, or just something positive to take out of this game in the second half, but it hasn't started that way.
I want to let you know what's going on coming up this week in Mesa Athletics. On November 5th, 3 o'clock men's soccer at Cuyamaca. At 7 o'clock, women's soccer will be home here against Palomar. The next day at 5, women's volleyball at Palomar. 6 o'clock, men's basketball will be at Fullerton. And then November 8th at 10 o'clock, men's cross country. And that is the SoCal Championships. So good luck to the Olympians in all of those. Pissick throws it out to the right side. It's caught and immediately dropped at the 39-yard line. That was Antoine Ware with the catch.
Antoine Ware.
And that's a 3 and out for Mesa, and they're putting.
So even if you took out the score in this one, losing your starting quarterback and one of your top running backs / return men, and this one goes through the legs of Fishburne, and it's going to be picked up by Fullerton at the 15-yard line and taken down at the 5-yard line.
Wow, I think I've seen everything in this game, and not good. There was a low snap, bobbled, then fumbled, picked up.
Fumble was recovered by Ross Smith.
And I'm going to tell you something, Dan. I know that there are going to be fans, Mesa fans in particular, that will be upset if Fullerton looks to score in the end zone, but that's not Fullerton. Fullerton's job is not to let up. Your job is to stop them. So if you don't like it, then stop them.
Well, and I think when you really look at it, you're trying to get players on to the next level, and the more you can pad their stats to make their case for them, why wouldn't you do it?
Well, and that's the thing. You don't ever coach letting up. You coach keeping your foot on the gas pedal. There's Rankins from the 5 down to the 2-yard line. So, yes, is it frustrating? Is it ugly? Yes, absolutely it is. But from the standpoint of the Mesa Olympians, you have to do something to stop it. Jason Majid with the stop on that last play, and it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 3-yard line.
It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2.
Frokaj, the sophomore quarterback, is in there now with the power I formation. Play action, rolling to his right, and finds a wide open tight end in the end zone. That's Jonathan Herron, a 3-yard touchdown pass.
There was literally nobody around here, did he? He's basically lined up as an offensive lineman. With the snap, he rolls out, and he just found himself all alone. I mean, there was 10 yards, I think is an understatement of, in all directions, how open he was there.
Well, if it's possible, it's gotten worse. I mean, you're having drop snaps, things of that nature. Time for these boys to dig down deep and see what they're made of. Here comes the extra point try and make it 64-0, and it's good.
And I was half joking about getting to 100, but at this pace, it's doable. If they've only taken 3.5 minutes off the clock, 2 more touchdowns. I'm trying to find something positive to talk about. I'm very, big fans of the Mesa athletic program here and what Coach Watkins has done. It's just so difficult when you have a game like this that is gotten out of hand, and you have the injuries, and you love watching the game. I love up here announcing it. At this point, it seems like the clock just can't expire fast enough on this game.
Well, yeah, and we'll see that there's one of 2 ways they can go here. They can still try to throw the ball, try to get big plays, or run the ball and give up. I don't think that that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to still try to run their offense because, I mean, you've got basically an entire second half. You don't want it to go for nothing, especially when you lost your quarterback and your top return guy. Use the time for something. Fonseca boots it away, and Ware waits for it at the 5. 10, 15, looking for a block at the 20, spins upfield 25, and he is taken out of bounds at the 28-yard line. And then a shove out of bounds against a player who's not even suited up, and now it could get ugly here. Let's see if the coaches can restore some order, and actually some of the Fullerton teammates came over. I still don't see a flag, and I'm not sure why. There's a Mesa player on the sideline not even suited up for the game, just wearing his jersey. Got shoved to the ground for no reason at all at the end of that play, and that's just uncalled for.
Yeah, I did not catch the beginning of it like you did there, but I saw the aftermath.
It was Jordan Brooks. He's wearing his jersey on the sideline, and the officials are gonna ask both sides to cool off here for a minute before they go right back to play. And let's hear from the referee. Maybe they are going to call a foul here.
Could be an ejection.
Should be an ejection. If you want to take any control of this, that's what you got to do.
Nothing.
Wow.
Well,
Fullerton, I'm going to give the Fullerton coaching staff a lot of credit there because they called the timeout to tell their kids to knock it off. That's not football.
And in the skirmish down here, I saw some Mesa coaches pulling their players off and throwing them to the side. And, last thing you want to do is have this thing turn into some sort of nasty brawl, and there's nothing positive that's coming out of this game.
I think the officials, however, missed a golden opportunity to put an end to that. If not an ejection, at least a personal foul call. A dead ball foul. From the 28-yard line, Pissick has them lined up now, and we get back to actual football. Takes the snap, hands off to Wimmer. To the 32-yard line. Call it maybe the 33. And that'll bring up second down.
Michael Noble on the tackle. Going at the 32-yard line.
Now a flag has just been thrown. Yeah, Alan Giron Needs to just chill out a little bit. He's rubbing it in. He's mouthing off at the end of the play. So Giron will be ejected from the game if he has another unsportsmanlike conduct foul. And again, I'm going to give credit to Fullerton's coaching staff. They've pulled him off the field.
First and 10, Olympia.
And we may not see him back out there tonight.
That's the third time a 15-yard penalty has gone in favor of Mesa tonight, and they still don't have it returns.
64-0. Here's Pissick. Here comes the blitz, swinging out to Wimmer down the sideline, 45. Steps out of bounds right there. Nice job by Wimmer. Will set up a second and short. And a good job by Pissick recognizing the blitz.
And Michael Nober pushed Wimmer out. If he did, there was plenty of green.
Ball now at the Hornet 45-yard line.
Run the 45 of Fullerton.
2nd and 2.
Pissick. And no, he's going to play action. Gets away from the sack. Now throws deep. He's got a man. It's caught down inside the 10-yard line.
What a phenomenal job of avoiding the sack there. You know, in the old days when you had the in the grass rule in the NFL, that was that close to being a sack. He was able to step out of it and complete the pass.
Nice job by Pissick and Antoine Ware making that catch, setting up a 1st and goal from the 8. And the handoff to Wimmer on the right side has a hole. 5 cuts to the end zone, touchdown. Andrew Wimmer with an 8-yard touchdown run, and the Olympians get on the board.
Well, 8 divides into 64. Am I right? 8 times. How does that work? Should you go for 2 or not?
I mean, at this point, why not?
The math says you should go for 2 here.
Reyes on the PAT.
So Reyes now will try and tack on the extra point. And it's good. 64-7, and we've got an injured Fullerton player. He's able to get some help from his teammates to get on his feet.
During the break, Reyes was trying a number of long field goals and was able to hit from 55. I doubt a long field goal is going to be needed at the end of this game to win it, but he certainly has the leg. I think he was frustrated with that miss there at the end of the half.
In Mesa's 2 losses this year, they scored 26 and 27 points respectively. That's still on the table for them. And of course, we could see them try something here to get the ball right back. We'll see.
Why not? There's very little downside to do that. If the other team isn't giving up and scoring points, then you gotta still try to play the game, as crazy as it sounds, to try to win it. I mean,
Well, that last drive set up by a nice job by Pissick getting out of the grasp of a defender and then finding a wide open Antoine Ware. Very next play, Wimmer runs it in from 8 yards out.
So we've had 3 touchdowns in the first 5 minutes and 18 seconds of the second half.
Which is kind of what we thought we were going to see all along.
We just thought it was more balanced, right?
Yeah. If you told me there'd be 71 points in the third quarter, I'd be okay with that. Until you told me that 64 of them were for Fullerton. Gonzalez kicks it off, taken at the 20-yard line. That's Keyshawn Griffin again. Why they're kicking to him, I'm not really sure.
Oh, he's
breaks the tackle at the 30, and he's finally hemmed in, but not till he gets down to the 27-yard line.
We got another flag just flew over on the sidelines.
The flag was actually thrown in
quite a way away from the play.
Like not even on the field of play. It was thrown out of bounds.
Waved in. I'm just guessing here. Possibly a face mask or
Here's the call. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct again against Fullerton.
That's
Referee's mic is not working, so we're not hearing. Didn't get the number. His mic came on really late. So I didn't hear who the number was, but it's another unsportsmanlike conduct against Fullerton.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Fullerton takes it
You
back
know,
to the Mesa.
there's no reason to talk. Look at the scoreboard. It's 64-7. All that other extra stuff just makes you look like a fool. Quinn Commons is the quarterback for Fullerton.
Ball now spotted at the 42-yard line. 1st and 10 Hornets.
.9:23 to go in the third quarter. Handoff. No, it's a play action. And it's caught at the 25-yard line, and he's gone for a touchdown.
wow.
That's Coy Thomas with the catch and run, and that's a 40-yard touchdown pass.
There's just no safeties back to the defender. Once he broke away from the initial defender, nothing but green in front of him. And now we have the 4th touchdown in the second half in 5 minutes and 45 seconds of play. And 3 of them for the Hornets. And they're going to be up to 71 points if they can get the extra point here.
70-7. And it's good.
We've got to be approaching. What's the highest score you have ever announced?
I think we've already surpassed it. I don't think I've seen somebody ever put 80 on the board.
And the crazy thing, the 71, is because Fullerton went for 2 points somewhere along the way here. It was 20-0 after an interception for a touchdown, and they went for 2.
Still 12-7 Southwestern leading Riverside. El Camino now leads Palomar 24-13. That game's late in the third quarter. Cerritos has gotten on the board again. Now they trail 30-10. That game's about to hit the fourth quarter. .9:15 still to go here in the third quarter. There's that pooch kick again. Taken at the 20-yard line, 25, 30-yard line, and up near the 35-yard line. The return by Sean Moskowitz. So here comes Joshua Pissick. Came in for the injured Asante Hartzog. Also, good news, Rance Garner back in the game in the backfield with Pissick.
That is good news. The way Garner came off the field, I did not think he was coming back into this game.
Of course, the shiftiness, a big part of his game. Let's see how he does there. Cutting it to the outside, 40-yard line to the 43, and taken out of bounds, close to the first down.
So on the sidelines there, a little bit up from where the tackle was made, play went off out of bounds, and one of the coaches on the sideline was taken out of the knees and fell, a big guy.
Yeah, that's Big Ryan down there that got knocked over. He's okay though, he got a high five from one of the coaches. Second down in the yard from the 43-yard line. Here's Pissick to Garner again, up to the 45-yard line. That's a first down. So he picks up a couple.
Tanner Bean on the tackle. Garner picks up the 1st and 10 for the Olympians, the ball at the 45.
So the Olympians now just looking to put together back-to-back drives after the lone scoring drive for them so far in this game, an Andrew Wimmer 8-yard touchdown run. They trail 71-7 in a game that has seen Asante Hartzog go out for the game. He does not have his helmet, however, he is walking around on the sidelines, which is good to see. Pissick throws left side, caught, and dragged out of bounds in Fullerton territory. That was Wesley Danzy, the 6'3", 235-pound tight end from Mission Bay High School.
Danzy on the reception.
Second down from the 49.
Ball now at the 149-yard line. Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Well, Mesa not the only ones licking their wounds tonight. USC taking a pounding at home against number 7 Oregon, 49-17 in that game. Swing out to Rance Garner, and he will get no gain on the play. Encouraged by the fact, though, that Garner is so involved, not worried about that knee. Third down, they actually gave him a generous spot of a 1-yard pickup. So it'll be 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4 for 49.
Now they marked it back. They must have heard me, Dan. Garner lines up off the right hip of Pissick here, down to 10 seconds on the play clock. Pissick has the snap. Nice block by Garner, and the throw to the right side. Caught by No. McManus could not reel it in.
Well, they're saying incomplete. It looked like he had it and took a step, but I guess he never controlled the
Nah,
ball.
he never, yeah, you've got to pull it in and make a football move, and he never was able to make that football move. And I apologize, that was not McManus, that was actually Antoine Ware.
Now we get some chippiness from the crowd out there. They're getting rather frustrated.
TJ Griffin is back to receive for Fullerton.
Thomas Eastern in some formation for Mesa.
Sammy Muniz coming in. We'll try it again on 4th down. Delay is called against Mesa.
Wait.
Thomas Fishburne, who's also a wide receiver, is the punter here. He's actually tried some place kicking during the season as well. And he gets it away. Fair catch immediately called for by Griffin. He muffed it, but that's going to be a flag against Mesa. They didn't give him enough room is what they're going to say. Once they call for a fair catch, he has a right to the ball, and you have to give him space to make the catch, and Mesa did not do that. And here comes the call from the referee. There it is, fair catch interference against the Olympians.
We saw one of those last week where we had it was an offsetting because there was roughing the kicker, and then on the other side of it there wasn't enough space for the fair catch, and that actually went in Mesa's favor last week.
Well, unfortunately, not much going in Mesa's favor tonight. They trail 71-7. Trailed 29-0 at the end of the first quarter. It was 50-0 at the half, so they've given up 3 more touchdowns here in the third quarter, being outscored 21-7. Cooper Callis is the quarterback this time for the Hornets. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line, and the handoff up ahead to the 38. That's Brandon Rankins with the carry.
And off to Brandon Rankins. Sammy Muniz on the tackle.
Possible upset alert, but really early on in Division I college football. San Jose State leads Boise State 14-0 in the first quarter. Here's a handoff. That's Rankins again, and he'll get up near the 40-yard line before a scrum breaks out. And third down coming up. San Diego State would love to see that upset. San Diego State does not have Boise State on their schedule this year, so the only way they would play them would be in the Mountain West Conference title game. And the rankings came out last week. San Diego State was number 25 at 7-1. Rolling out to his left side as Callis throws, and it is caught. Oh man, right on the sideline. Making the catch is Charles Byers Jr.
He got both feet in. He tiptoed the sidelines like an NFL player there. That was quite a catch.
And he only needed 1 foot in, but you're right. He tiptoed that sideline, and they're right back on the ball.
And I was a little surprised to see the pass play it, though. We got looks like a false start or...
Yeah, well, they should have been holding that up because the chains weren't even set. That was all messed up.
But up 71-7, a 3rd and 4. You would expect to see a run play, and but they are keeping the pedal in the middle. It's like watching the Patriots out there tonight.
Down to 4:18 and counting remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the 35-yard line of Mesa. Cooper Callis has thrown a touchdown pass. He's also run a touchdown in on a 4-yard scramble. They just now restarted the play clock, but the game clock has been rolling.
Is that a little like, that's a mercy roll, I think. It's still rolling, the game.
They're going to take a second straight delay. No, timeout. Fullerton took it all the way down and called a timeout. It's not like this is the 4th quarter. Not really sure what they're doing. Well, the good news is this only counts as 1 loss.
Right.
The Olympians are going to fall to 5-3, 1-2 in league play, but they've got a couple of they've got a really tough one next week at Mount Sac. That's always a difficult place to play. And Mount Sac, 2-0 in league as we speak right now. And last we saw they were leading Cerritos by 20. So most likely going to be facing a 3-0 Mount Sac Mounties team in a must-win situation before finishing up the regular season at Palomar College.
Why is Mount Sac such a traditionally hard place to play?
Their fans turn out. Like they just have a really good following, a good community built behind them over many years, and they've got a great home field advantage because of it. I love some of the nicknames in community college too. The Mount Sac Mounties. Here's Callis now. They'll get the snap off this time. Rankins. Just a few yards up to the 32, and it does appear that finally Coach Garrett Campbell has called the dogs off a little bit. Down to 3:10 to go. The Fullerton Hornets don't play there anymore. They play at their home games at Glendora High School. But back when I was doing the games, they actually played them at Old Titan Stadium on the campus of University of Fullerton. And it's set up right back to back with the baseball field. There's a play action. Callis is going to scramble with it. And now he just throws it away out of bounds to avoid the sack. 3rd and 12 coming up. And there on the wall, they've got all their Golden Spikes Award winners. And one of them was Phil Nevin.
Yeah.
A former 1st-round pick and a San Diego Padre, amongst others.
Poway High alum too, right?
I don't know if Phil was. I know Tyler Nevin, his son, was. But, that was highway robbery, the way the Padres acquired Phil Nevin. Do you remember that trade? They traded. He was a utility player, mostly ineligible man downfield called against Fullerton. He was a utility guy for the Angels, mostly a backup catcher. And the Padres traded straight up Andy Sheets for Phil Nevin, who became a cornerstone at third base and annually hitting 25 to 30 home runs a year. He's now the third base coach of the New York Yankees.
So every once in a while, the Padres do make a great trade.
Callis steps up and he's going to be sacked. I believe that was Zachary Clement.
I think it was Phil Plantier. The other Phil I was thinking about there as a Poway alum.
Yeah, I saw his son Tyler Nevin play. He's a heck of a player, by the way. Good power stroke, just like his dad. Here we go, 4th and 12 from the 32. Callis looks over to Campbell. Garrett Campbell, like many head coaches now, is also the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Callis out to his right. Pump fakes, now throws for the end zone and caught out of the back of the end zone. And thankfully, Byers did not hit that structure right behind him. He came close to it. That's incomplete, and the Olympians will take over on downs.
Yeah, Byers reached out for his foot there, trying to get it in bounds, but it looked, at best, it came out on the line there. I got to give him a solid effort there.
So a minute 48 to go in the third quarter. Ball at their own 32-yard line. Trailing 71-7. This just doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth.
71-7.
But that is the case. Joshua Pissick back out there, getting a lot of reps with the injured Asante Hartzog on the sideline. McManus is wide to the left side. 3 receiver set with a tight end. Pissick with the hard count now has the snap. Throwing deep down the left sideline, McManus catches it out of bounds. It's incomplete.
Well, think of the opportunity that Pissick is getting in this game. I mean, a month ago, he was 3rd on the depth chart. Wasn't going to get much opportunity at all, and all of a sudden, one player leaves the team, and then you got an injury, and then all of a sudden you're out there leading the offense. So if you're, I'm looking for a silver lining, some positives here, and I think, for him, this is a positive to get this experience.
So he'll have a 2nd down and 10 from the 32. Wimmer gets hammered in the backfield by Jamal Dorsey, 6'5", 240, from Memorial High School in Texas. And let me tell you something about Garrett Campbell. If you look at this roster for Fullerton, this is just on the defensive side. He recruits the entire nation. He's got kids from Maryland, D.C., Hawaii, Georgia, Tennessee, Virginia, Minnesota, some Florida kids, Louisiana, Michigan, all over the place.
They look very similar to a Riverside roster.
This is a team just 2 years removed from winning a national title. As we told you earlier, though, they were stripped of that title due to ineligible players. On 3rd down, and it's too high for Antoine Ware. Now bring up 4th down.
I know that Coach Watkins, has quickly moved the up into this division here after having some very quick success with the team, and has talked about this desire to be out there and recruiting like some of these other schools are, and I think he'll get there. But on the other side of the roster, from being a hometown guy, and I look at these high schools, and Grossmont High School, Mission High School, Escondido High School, Mount Carmel, West Valley.
Fishburne gets it away, and it takes a good Mesa roll inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
And I see my alumni, Grand Hills here. That this is, the junior college is really meant to serve the community, and it be a stepping stone to get to a 4-year college. And so I think there is a certain quality about having your hometown boys playing for your hometown college here that I kind of like in that.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you, and there's a lot of talent in this area, but if you're going to be consistently competitive, you do have to go around the country and try to find bounce backs and people like that. I mean, you see Hunter Risen, who we saw earlier, bounce back from Michigan State. He just kind of flashes before you. You can tell he's an elite player out there on the field. So you've got to have kind of a good mix of both. They don't have to snap the ball again, but they may. They're lined up here with 20 seconds to go and 23 on the play clock. They could just let this run out and go to the fourth quarter. They will run at least one more play here, however, and get up to the 30-yard line. And that will end the third quarter as the clock winds down.
So a guy like Hunter Risen, who ran into some legal troubles and then tried to get a fresh start, out here in California, what's his opportunity of getting that fresh start? Before your schools look and see that he got he was able to stay on track for a year or two and that can create another opportunity for him?
I'll give you my answer while they switch ends when we come back. This is Mesa College Athletics.
Reminder to all Olympian fans, next Saturday, the Olympians travel to Mount San Antonio for a 6 o'clock game.
Third down at the 30-yard line. And pass is thrown out of bounds. That was Frokaj in there. So you were asking about Hunter Risen, and that's exactly why he bounces back to community college, to give himself a year to not only hone his athletic skills, but to also get his personal life in order and prove that he's worthy of a Division I college taking a shot at him. He obviously has the physical talent, or he wouldn't have been at Michigan State.
And also, if you're dealing with some legal issues, to leave the state where you have those issues kind of may help as well, too.
They come after the kick, aren't able to get it. Hunter Allen was back deep to receive for Mesa, and he'll watch it die right there at the 36-yard line. So 14:44 left in the game. Mesa trailing 71-7 now. Just gonna look and see if they can put together another scoring drive here. Fullerton Hornets have definitely taken their foot off the gas pedal. Try to get another look at the scoreboard before we get out of here. And Mount Sac is going to go on to another victory. They lead 36-17 at Cerritos. 5 minutes left in that game. Visick takes the snap, spins and hands off to Garner, who goes around the right side and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Way at the 4-yard pickup. Saddleback leads Golden West 42-17. Long Beach City College hasn't been updated. El Camino with a 31-20 lead at Palomar. That game's got about 7.5 minutes to go. And Riverside Southwestern has not been updated since halftime. Remember, we told you Southwestern was leading that game 12-7. Here's Pissick on a play action. Throws over the middle, and what a catch! Down at the 36-yard line by Antoine Ware.
Antoine Ware had 4 defenders around him. Great pass by Pissick. Dropped it in between the 4 of them. Hit Ware basically in stride. Too bad we haven't had more of that earlier on in the game.
Love to see that, though, that he's still playing with heart and determination in a game like this. Says a lot about that young man. There's a pass to the left side. That's caught by Hackey, and he got the first down to the 24-yard line.
Nice little second effort there by Hackey, get around the defender and pick up another 3 or 4 yards to get the first.
Cade Hackey, a nice big target, 6'4", 200 pounds, from Hatch Valley High School in New Mexico. He's a sophomore playing his final game. This is a bitter ending for these sophomores. Did not want to go out this way in their final home game. But they can do something about it with the final 2 weeks. Izik under some heat, now scrambles to his left, throws, and it is caught down at the 1-yard line.
His feet were in the end zone, but the ball never made it there.
And we got an injury on the Fullerton side. That's Jesse Bediaco, freshman D lineman. That was Cade Hackey again, by the way, with that very nice catch. So back-to-back excellent plays by a couple of sophomores playing for nothing but pride at this point.
So Ted, while we have a few minutes, I'm kind of curious if you know much, how does the financials work at a junior college level when you have a school that's recruiting these guys around the nation in terms of paying for housing and meals, and it's not the same thing as you had as a 4-year university.
No, definitely not. And I don't really know the ins and outs of it. I do know that there is that you can get financial aid through similar means, like when you're just doing it to get your education. And that may actually be the means that they use to also get them over for the football team. Izik came all the way over here to the near sideline. Now he comes jogging in. Izik, another sophomore, playing his final home game, probably playing a lot more than he was expecting to when tonight kicked off. Hand off to Garner, puts his head down and runs into a wall and breaks that wall into the end zone for a touchdown. Grant Garner with the rushing touchdown.
Nice job bouncing outside. I actually got a little lost there in the play. I thought he went up the middle, but he did a nice job of bouncing out, getting into the end zone, and there's another positive you can take away in a game like this.
And they'll try the extra point with Raul Reyes.
On the PAT attempt.
High snap, got it down, and the kick is good. 71-14. They put together a nice scoring drive, and Antoine Ware and Cade Hackey both with a couple of real nice catches on that drive. Fullerton, after this, their final 2 games will be home against El Camino next week, and then they finish up on the road at Mount Sac.
Kind of going back to this recruiting from around the nation. Once you've established it, you probably get a funnel of players like, hey, my brother went there, I can go, But for Watkins, what kind of infrastructure do you need to be going out there from a recruiting standpoint at a junior college to be going around the nation to find these players to bring them in?
Yeah, I think it starts off with just having the success with what you're doing right now and building off of that. And then I think a lot of that is players are going to come to you. You're competing with Southwestern and Palomar College down here in the same area, all competing for the same players. Southwestern's been pretty successful in recent memory, so Mesa's got to kind of start building that resume and start getting those same caliber players.
And it's difficult when everybody else already has those players, so that it's like you've got to. It's your to get a program going. It's hard because you're kind of behind the 8 ball in terms that the other schools already have the talent, and then you need to overcome that on the field so that you can start acquiring the talent.
First and 10. Fullerton with the ball at their own 35. 12:21 to go in the ball game. It's Callis in there, hands it straight ahead. Across midfield, 45-yard line, still running hard. Down to the 42-yard line of Mesa. That was Gaddafi Taylor, first time we've called his name tonight, 5'9", 190-pound sophomore.
Bryson Collins on the tackle, first down Hornets.
Quinn Commons, the quarterback, in the pistol formation, and it'll be Taylor again, just across the 40-yard line before he stopped there.
Stopped by the center of the Olympian line, led by Zachary.
Second down and 8 from the 40.
Ball at the 40-yard line, second and 8.
Mesa creeping up defensively, showing that they might blitz. And he'll swing out to a wide open Taylor, 35-yard line, and brought down right there. Starting to get a little chippy out there again on both sides. Have to keep an eye on that.
Well, I didn't see before the game where they go out and shake hands beforehand.
I don't think they did that.
Yeah, because they've been doing that to avoid the post-game confrontation, to, exchange pleasantries before the game.
And I would think tonight it would be best that they just go to their respective ways. On the I formation, Taylor down to the 31-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Needed just a few yards, and he got that and then some. Fullerton appears content to run and maybe throw some swing passes, but that's about it. And their offensive line, you got to give them credit there. Their line play has been outstanding all night long, both sides of the ball. Here's Commons, has them lined up again. 3 receivers. Now he looks over. Commons has thrown 3 touchdown passes tonight for Fullerton. Play action, throws to the right side, and it's dropped. That stops the clock with 9:45 to go.
Pass intended for Cameron Steen, incomplete. Second and 10 for the Hornets from the 31.
Last week, Commons threw for a touchdown, but also threw a pick. He also only threw 9 passes. That was in the 55-42 win against Palomar College. Second and 10. And that's Gaddafi Taylor down to the 26-yard line. Stopped right there, 5-yard pickup, 3rd and 5.
And off again, put it off of Taylor.
9:20 to go, and counting. And Fullerton has been content to let that play clock roll all the way down to about 7 seconds or so. Not this time, though. It's Taylor, caught from behind and dragged down at the 29-yard line. And a flag is thrown, and it's a little too much mouthing off here.
I think that was Sean Moskowitz on the tackle.
That was Moskowitz, and let's see who the flag goes against now. I believe, reading lips there, he said number 88, that's Spencer Owens, the tight end. So he's another player that is on warning that if he has another unsportsmanlike conduct foul, he'll be ejected.
So that's the 3rd one, and if there's something I think for the Fullerton head coach to take away from this game is that's something you need to address with this.
Well, you got to win with dignity,
Yeah.
right? I mean, win like just let the scoreboard do the talking. There's no reason to say anything. So that backs them all the way back to the 44 of Mesa on 4th down and 23. And the handoff is to Anthony Jackson, the running back, and he's brought down well shy of the first down. And the Olympians will take over on downs.
For a second there, it was getting away. Remember, there was a Charger game against Baltimore.
Oh, 4th and 23?
Yeah, the
33.
Yeah. It was,
Yep.
1st and 10 for the Olympian.
Yep, Baltimore Ravens, right? First and 10 from their own 33-yard line, the Olympians. I don't know, if you're Gary Watkins, do you just burn this tape and move on to next week? Maybe throw it into turnover Tina.
That's completed on McManus.
McManus making that catch, and he picks up about 4 yards.
is this a case, Ted? Do you think that Fullerton's just that much bigger, faster, stronger than Mesa, or
Well,
this game got out of hand early and things just?
They're clearly better. I mean, that was shown early on. Are they 71-14 better? I don't know about that. They're pretty good. Garner around the right side, and he'll get a first down at the 46.
And Garner on a free right. Handled by Bryce Bryan. Garner picks up a 1st and 10 for the Olympian. Well, at the 46.
And it's good to see some of these leaders still playing hard for the Olympians and setting a good example for their teammates. Pissick, well, hand off to Garner, and he's hit hard at midfield. That tackle made by Marcus Thompson, a recruit out of Florida.
And off to Ryan Garner. Feeling early in on the tackle.
2nd down and 5, a 5-yard pickup for Garner.
Ball now at the
Well, some things to keep an eye on for next week is going to be the health of Asante Hartzog for sure. And then how they pick themselves off the mat to face Mount Sac, who leads this league. On 2nd down, Pissick had good time, throws over the middle, it's tipped and incomplete. He was looking for McManus.
Well, it's a Pissick's pass over the middle intended for Don McManus. Broken up and complete.
And with 6:27 to go, 3rd and 5 coming up. And you come off the high of last week and a 5-2 record, and it came crashing back down to earth in a hurry. You mentioned a 29-point first quarter, and they never recovered. Pump fake and a sack. Boy, what a play! Jesse Bediako actually leaped to block the throw, and then when Pissick didn't throw it, he just went ahead and sacked him on his way down.
I don't know if you caught the highlight earlier in the day. There was a play, and receiver went to go catch the ball, went off his shoulder pads, hit a defender in the hands, hit another defender in the hands. Defender falls down, the ball falls on the defender. The original receiver circles back for the ball and makes the catch. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. That sounds insane. Fishburne kicks it away,
Oh, it hits
and
him.
it hit one of the Mesa players. And that will be Fullerton football at their 43. 5.5 minutes to go. This one was over in the first quarter.
It's been a pleasure to talk to you for another 3.5 quarters anyways.
Yeah. I want to thank Bo Navarro and the rest of the crew here who treated us very nicely. This is our last football broadcast. Because I'll be on the road for the final 2 weeks. Although, actually, I should correct myself. There may be another one coming if they make a bowl game. We got some work to do before you start talking about that, though. Gary Watkins and his staff will get him right back to work. That was Anthony Jackson with the carry and close to a first down. Jackson's a freshman from Alabama. Went to Demopolis High School.
Bo Navarro is the sports information director here from Mesa. He goes back to work previously with the Chargers.
This is Cooper Callis in there now at quarterback. And Jackson off the right side 40. The ball looked like it might have been loose there. No, it wasn't the ball. It was just Jackson continuing to move. Got the first down at the 40.
A little follow-up there.
Oh, you hate to see this late. Another injury. Go ahead, Dan.
I say Bo's responsible for a lot of good things that happen here in San Diego. He worked closely with Quentin Jammer and the Jammer Family Foundation to help build a football field for kids who are homeless. I believe it's called the San Pasquale. Jammer and Philip Rivers did that together, and Bo was part of helping raise funds to make that happen with Jammer. And I spent 3 years covering the Chargers for CBS Sports, and you know, when I left that, what I missed most about it wasn't necessarily being in the locker room every single day. I mean, that's exciting when you first get into it to be there, of course, but it's really, you know, what the involvement with athletes are doing off the field is the stuff that I miss.
Just trying to get the number for you. You got it now. It's Matthew Martinez, 5'11", 315 pounds from Whittier High School. And I've been getting some assistance. It looks like it's the right leg. So when he comes off the field, they will restart the clock. And it does with 4:50 to go in the game. Just playing out the final minutes of this one. And then Mesa's got to regroup and get right back up for Mount Sac. Anthony Jackson up the middle. You get the feeling he wants to hit the end zone before this thing's over. Jackson did not play till midway through this fourth quarter.
And you don't know what's going to happen next week. You look at Mount Sac, this game, you think, wow, they're probably in for a tough one, but then they can turn around and beat Mount Sac, and you see what, we haven't got an update here, but Riverside and Southwestern College, you really just never know week in and week out with these, you know, especially at this level.
We'll see if we can get another update on that before we go off the air here with 4 minutes to go. Power I formation. It's Jackson again down to the 35-yard line.
Quick hitter to Anthony Jackson. Winnie McAlley on the tackle. Came to the Mesa 34-yard line. 3rd and 4.
So 3rd down and 4 with 3:20 to go. And they'll stick with that power I formation on 3rd down. It's Jackson bouncing it to the outside, got the first down at the 30. Stays in bounds at about the 26.
Ted tried to look for the scores there for Southwestern Riverside. Didn't look like the website was updated. I'm going to do a Twitter search and maybe.
Yeah, I just tried to, and all I found was 12-7.5.
10 Fullerton. Ball at the Mesa, 26.
Jackson dots the I. Callis snaps it with 4 on the play clock, and Jackson will be stuffed at the 25-yard line after a 1-yard pickup.
2 minutes ago, no miracle comeback this week.
No, that was certainly not in the cards, and it was evident early on. I hope the best for Hartzog. They could certainly use him coming back next week against the Mounties. On 2nd down and 9. And Jackson is stuffed behind the line. That'll bring up 3rd down. And they can bring it down to about a minute left in the game.
Anthony Jackson, ball carrier.
With 3rd down coming up.
John Moskowitz in on the tackle. Ball out to the 27-yard line.
Hopefully these teams peacefully go their own direction and this last minute expires.
Yeah, you certainly hope so, and I'm sure the coaches are cognizant of that and they'll make sure that happens. Even last week there was a little bit of that where they had to just have the teams go in separately. Jackson up the middle.
Anthony Jackson, the ball carrier. By the center of the
So that'll bring up 4th down, and they can take this down to the final 12 seconds or so.
Hey, they might just run it backwards for 12 seconds.
And Mason might just let them.
Yard, 4th and 10. Ball at the Mesa 26-yard line.
So 71-14 is going to be the final score here.
So they might take it all the way down and just take the penalty here.
Yeah, that's true too.
4, 3, 2, 1. This looks like what they're doing.
So there's the delay.
Got 12.3 seconds to go, or 12.9. Can you scramble backwards for 13 seconds?
They'll probably end up just giving it back over to Mesa. Well, Gary Watkins and company got some work to do to get them going. Yeah, they restarted the clock after the delay, and that will end this game. 71-14 is the final. It started off with Fullerton scoring 29 points in the first quarter. They added 21 more in the second and 21 more in the third, en route to a 71-14 victory. On the Mesa side of things, we had an Andrew Wimmer 8-yard touchdown run and a Garner 1-yard touchdown run for their 2 scores, Dan.
Yeah, not the game we expected, Ted. But again, you never know what to go expect moving forward. Overall, this has been a good season for Mesa. I just hope they don't hang their heads too much after tonight and show up next week and play Mount Sac well, and maybe we'll get to announce one more game together this year.
Well, stay tuned for that. Fullerton improves to 4-4, 2-1 in league play. Mesa falls to 5-3. They are 1-2 in league. They head on the road next week at Mount Sac. For Dan McClellan, Bo Navarro, I'm Ted Mendenhall. Thank you very much for joining us on Mesa College Athletics. Good night, everybody.